Hope you guys have a great holiday season. I'm very excited to announce Golden Boy's final show for 2021, live at the AT&T Center in beautiful San Antonio, Texas, and streaming it on DAZN. We're going to pit Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez versus Yunieski González in a WBA light heavyweight title eliminator. Sure to be an action-packed fight. Yunieski's been in with some of the top names at light heavyweight, Alexander Gvozdyk, Jean Pascal, and Zurdo is just another one of those fighters that he's going to come in and give it all. But we also have two title fights. We have Sinisa Estrada defending her WBA minimum title against Maria Santizo. We also have Marlene Esparza in her first title defense, facing off against Anabel Ortiz. She's defending her WBC flyweight title. And then what I think is it could be a show stealer for our DAZN stream. We have Lamont Roach Jr. Fighting for the NABF super featherweight title against former title holder Rene Alvarado. Plus, we also have 5 fights on our DAZN live. I mean, our Facebook live on our Golden Boy account. What can I say? Golden Boy keeps bringing action-packed cards to you guys. Doing it for the fans of San Antonio, for all those people who tune into our fights in DAZN, and I expect nothing less. With Zurdo, we're getting into a position now where the top names at light heavyweight have to recognize him. They have to acknowledge him in the conversation for the elite at light heavyweight. And this being a title eliminator, should he come out victorious, I think that's his calling card, and that's something that he's going to have. That those who hold the belts are going to have to recognize Zurdo as one of the elites.
Thank you, Ernie. As a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, please raise your hand so I know. Next, I'd like to introduce Henry Vivalta, who's Yunieski's manager, to speak on behalf of Yunieski and introduce him. Go ahead, Henry.
I can barely hear you guys. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I can barely hear you guys.
Yes, we can hear you. Do you want to put us on speaker on your phone?
Hold on, let me try that.
Sometimes it's a speaker situation.
Hold on.
Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect now. Yeah, thank you so much.
It's a speaker thing. Okay, go ahead, Henry. Talk about Yunieski, his career, and please feel free to introduce him so he can say a few words to us.
Well, Yunieski González is a fighter who has had a lot of hardship, has had a lot of hard work during his career, and has been given nothing. Has had to earn it every step of the way. Many people believe that he beat Jean Pascal on HBO, but didn't get the nod, and that happens sometimes in boxing. And he was off for a little while. He had a 3-year period that he really didn't do much because of contractual issues, but we were able to fix that problem and get him going, and he's coming off of 4 straight wins, and now he's got the chance to fight Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. So I just want to thank Golden Boy for the opportunity, DAZN, Team Ramirez, and we're coming to give the best efforts. We've been training really, really hard for this camp, we got some great sparring, and we're looking forward to not only giving a great fight, but winning the fight. And I'll introduce you to Yunieski González, also known as the Monster, and I'll translate for him. Yunieski? Hi.
Yunieski, ¿puedes decir unas palabras sobre tu pelea, por favor?
Sí, ya, un gusto estar compartiendo el ring con uno de los mejores peleadores que tiene México y el mundo en la división. Muchas gracias a DAZN por la oportunidad, a Golden Boy, a mi equipo por traerme aquí y darme esta oportunidad, al team de Zurdo Ramírez. Nada, muy agradecido por esta oportunidad y esperamos trabajar duro y para darle lo que a la afición le gusta, hacer un espectáculo, para que gane todo la televisión, todos los fanáticos de este deporte se sientan agradecidos se sientan agradecidos y contentos con una nueva actuación de televisión, de pelea.
Gracias, Yunieski. Henry, did you want to translate briefly what he said?
Oh, I thought you were going to do it. No problem.
You-
And he's very grateful. He's very grateful to Golden Boy, to DAZN, to Team Ramirez for giving him this opportunity. He's coming to give a great spectacle, a great war, give the fans what they want to see, a good fight, which sometimes we do see in boxing, but sometimes we don't. And he's going to give it his all.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Henry and Yunieski. So let's start off the conference call. Again, if you want to ask a question, please raise your hand. Henry or myself will be available to translate on behalf of Yunieski. First off, let's start off with Dan Rayfield. Dan, go ahead and ask your questions.
Thank you, Cecilia. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Dan.
Henry, how are you? It's good to talk to you.
Yeah, my friend. How are you, sir?
Good. It's been a while. Could you ask Yunieski just basically, I know you mentioned in your introductory remarks that he had that 3-year period of time, where he had gotten to a top level. He had lost the fight to Vodzik, but then he had like the 3 years where he didn't fight. And I know you said it was contractual, but if Yunieski could be a little more specific about what was going on with him in those 3 years when he didn't fight, and what was it that prompted him to finally come back and get back going.
¿Qué fue lo que te pasó a ti básicamente durante esos 3 años que estuviste inactivo? ¿Y qué fue lo que te motivó a ti para volver al cuadrilátero y empezar a entrenar otra vez fuerte?
Bueno, yo estaba firmado con esta con una promotora ahí, entonces ya los motivos por la cual me tuvieron alejado, nunca lo entendí. Sin poder hacer lo que quería hacer. Esos motivos nunca lo entendí. Después yo siempre me estaba manteniendo en el gimnasio, yo siempre estaba en forma ahí, buscando, llamando y molestando para que me diera mi próxima pelea, mi próximo chance, y nunca así, y pasaron casi 3 años y nunca me dieron una respuesta. Entonces en eso tuve que salir a trabajar, tuve que salir a buscar la comida en otro quehaceres, y así pasó. Entonces, pero nunca perdí la fe que podía volver a regresar, nunca perdí el hambre de poder a regresar de nuevo. Y nada, encontré con mi nuevo equipo, y ya me trajo de vuelta, me dijo, vamos a trabajar, tú tienes los deseos, tú tienes las ganas todavía, de verdad que te quedan. Y yo dije, sí, yo tengo todas las ganas todavía, y todavía hay mucho por dar de mí. Y de ese momento empezamos a trabajar, y aquí estoy, ya estamos haciendo la 4ª pelea con mi nuevo equipo, y esperemos seguir por ahí para allá.
Dan, to answer your question, he says that he doesn't know exactly what happened contractually in his contract, but he was always asking his managers at the time, what's going on, when do I fight? But the fight never came, and then he had to turn to different aspects of life to be able to support his children, his family. So he had to work and try something new. But then he says, I bumped into him and we spoke a little bit, talked about getting back into the boxing. He always stayed training here and there, so he wasn't far off in shape, and he got back in shape, and he's ready to war, man. He's ready to give it all.
So Henry, ask him, please. He has won the 3 fights in a row. And I was wondering, so when I heard that Zurdo was going to fight Yunieski, I was surprised because I knew that he had come back to the ring, but I didn't know if he was had been on the radar and was going to be ready for that level of a fight. Was it Golden Boy coming to you as they were looking for an opponent? Or did you guys say, we know Zurdo is here and we know he's going to need an opponent for this time of year? And were you proactively seeking this fight? In other words, did it just come to you because they thought of him as a good opponent, or were you guys out there chasing this type of fight?
Well, I've spoken to several promoters, big promoters offered Yunieski's name. And so his name has been going around as being available for a big fight, but it was Golden Boy that gave me the opportunity. Robert Diaz, a dear friend of mine for 20 plus years, he called me, he said, Henry, we got this opportunity. You think you'd like to fight Zurdo Ramírez? and we jumped right on it because we like the fight.
All right, very good. I appreciate it. Wish you guys good luck.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Dan. Up next, we have Miguel Maravilla from Fight News. Go ahead, Miguel.
Hola, Yunieski. Primeramente, esta oportunidad ante Zurdo, ¿cómo te sientes y qué va a ser la clave ante un boxeador como el Zurdo Ramírez?
Bueno, un saludo ahí de mi parte para usted. Bueno, no es un secreto que el Zurdo es un gran peleador. No es un secreto que el Zurdo es un gran peleador. No es un secreto que está en buena posición ahora mismo. Pero nada, aquí está enfrentando a un Yunieski que tiene un hambre, tiene deseo de conquistar y ahora está más cerca que nunca de conquistarlo a lo que viene. A lo que viene y a lo que viene a hacer en el boxeo profesional. Creo que las ganas y los deseos van a ser muy fundamental en esta pelea, y yo lo tengo bien claro y tengo trazado mis metas, lo que quiero para mí, para mi futuro y lo que quiero hacer en esta pelea.
Muchas gracias y buena suerte.
Gracias a usted.
Henry, can you translate that or would you want me to?
But you can if you like.
Okay. So basically, Yunieski said, it's not a secret that Zurdo is a great fighter. He is in a very good position in his career. And Yunieski says he has a lot of hunger and desire to win, that they are closer than ever to get to a new level of his career. And he thinks that the desire and the ganas, which is like the wants that he has to win, is going to be the determining factor in this fight. Any additional questions, Miguel?
¿Cómo te va esta preparación?
No, la preparación va bastante bien, va marchando bastante bien. Estamos haciendo todo lo necesario, todo lo que nos hace falta para esta preparación. Estamos marchando bien y principalmente en lesiones, que es lo más importante, ¿no? Tener una buena preparación, tener una buena preparación y donde no influyan las lesiones. Entonces creo que todo va próspero, todo va marchando muy bien.
So Yunieski says that everything's really good. He's having a really good preparation and that he feels that it's necessary and essential to be fully prepared. And it's going really, really well. All right. Thank you so much for that, Miguel. Next up, we have Mike Reda from 26 Sports. Mike, go ahead. Mike, we can't hear you. I don't think your audio is working. Do you want to type in your question and we'll ask it for you? We can't hear you. Oh, wait, maybe that, go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
All right, perfect. Can we ask both fighters a question? I see Zurdo's on the call as well now.
Yeah, but let's finish Yunieski first.
Okay, perfect. Yunieski, con el tiempo que tuviste pues fuera del ring, ¿crees que eso te ayudó al cuerpo, como tú sabes, mejorar cualquier tipo de lesiones o algo así después de tanto tiempo peleando profesionalmente?
Pues, quizás sí, quizás no. Creo que fueron mucho tiempo, creo que fue mucho tiempo, casi 3 años alejado. Creo que ningún atleta a ese nivel puede estar 3 años. Creo que 3 años, a lo mejor si tú me dices 1 año, está bien. A lo mejor con 1 año de descanso, que el cuerpo te descanse, que refresque, está bien. Pero 3 años creo que fueron, es mucho, ¿tú me entiendes? Pero no, regresé bien y principalmente siempre me mantuve haciendo mis cositas en el gimnasio, no con mucha frecuencia, pero lo hacía hacía mi carrería, hacía mi ejercicio. Ya a veces, como no existía la posibilidad de pelear o que no me dieran una respuesta para pelear una fecha, entonces lo hacía y ya le decía, bueno, lo voy a hacer por mi salud y me mantenía haciendo mis cositas. Entonces estuvo fuera, pero no 100% afuera. Entonces nada, regresé, casi ya a los 3 años regresé, nada, la experiencia, el cuerpo tiene memoria de lo que vino a hacer y nada, ya rápido en 4 o 5 meses ya estaba ready para pelear ya.
Sí. Y luego, como dijiste que estabas entrenando todo el tiempo, entonces, ¿ganaste tu ritmo en tu primer pelea para atrás sin, tú sabes, como yendo muchos rounds, ganó para pegar tu ritmo o ya estabas el ritmo en la pelea fácil?
Sí, ya ahí después que ya arreglé mis problemas profesionales, ya ahí llegué y ya empecé a hacer mi carrera, ya empecé a cogerlo más en serio, a trabajar más duro y, y, y ya empecé a hacer pues ya sparring con muchachos jóvenes, con muchachos que me estaban exigiendo, me empezaron a exigir y fui progresando poco a poco y ya y rápido dijimos ya, Yunieski todavía tiene mucho que dar, el entrenador que me tenía a mi lado me dijo, no, Yunieski todavía tiene mucho que dar, hacía sparring con pesos grandes, con pesos chiquitos, con lo que sea y siempre estaba regresando. Esa fue la clave que por la cual mi equipo dijo, sí, todavía hay Yunieski para dar.
Muchas gracias y buena suerte en tu pelea.
Gracias a usted.
Thank you, Mike. The first question was the fact that he spent outside the ring 3 years, if that helped him at all to potentially recover from any ailments or injuries. And Yunieski's response was maybe yes, but he felt that it was a lot of time out of the ring too. He thinks that maybe it was too long, but he feels good. And that he mentioned that even though he's been out of the ring for 3 years, he's always maintained himself, always stayed in the gym, always stayed in shape. And most of it was because he didn't know when he would be fighting again. And so he did it also to be healthy. But, you know, now he's back and there's a lot of muscle memory and he feels like he was able to get back into fighting shape very, very quickly because of that. The second question was about timing and rhythm in terms of his preparation and fighting. And he said that he's been taking it very seriously. He's been having a lot of sparring sessions with young fighters and that has helped him progress and get better. And that's been the key also to getting back into fighting shape. All right, we're going to take one last question for Yunieski. Chris from TV Boxeo, go ahead.
Buenas tardes, Yunieski. Saludos. Una pregunta, cuando tú oyes que hay veces que hablan de Zurdo Ramírez contra Bivol, ¿tú piensas que de repente se están olvidando que todavía te tienen que enfrentar a ti?
¿Cómo? Repíteme. Que cuando están hablando de la pelea con el Zurdo, con Dmitry Bivol, como si ya ganó y va a pelear el título del mundo, si ya ganó la eliminatoria. Bueno, eso es algo que está por ver. Primero tiene que pasarle por arriba a González y después pensar en eso. Todo nos estamos basando en un pronóstico que a veces se le puede hacer incierto, a veces se le puede hacer aguar. Siempre no están contando con el peleador que vamos a enfrentar en el momento y cómo viene ese peleador. Entonces, muchas veces sobreestiman a un peleador y yo los dejo. Solamente yo los dejo y cuando, primero solamente cuando se habla, ya se está hablando de esas negociaciones, ya se está hablando, pero yo solamente estoy callado y digo, primero tiene que pasarme por arriba a mí, ¿ok? Porque yo también pienso en pelear con Bivol.
Basically, the question was if, with the talk about Bivol being next on Zurdo's list after this fight, if essentially they are forgetting about the fact that he's facing Gonzalez. And Yunieski said, First of all, they have to go through him first. He says that maybe talking about Bivol ahead of time, they're making an assumption about what the fight's going to look like. But, you know, he's a good sport and he just leaves that. He doesn't, you know, comment on it. And, but, you know, they have to get through him first. And because he's also in that line to go after Bivol after this fight. So first of all, we would have to go through Gonzalez first before we make any assumptions. Okay, thank you so much, Yunieski. ¿Puedes decir unas últimas palabras para todos los que están aquí?
Sí, un saludo a todos los que están aquí, a todos los que nos escuchan, a todos los que están, a todas las personas que van a estar esa noche, o a los que están escuchando la entrevista. Todos estamos invitados y que no se pierdan que el 18 de diciembre va a ser una gran noche y algo bonito, algo que a la afición le va a gustar mucho, y lo que quieren ver. Es todo lo que tengo que decir.
He says he wants to thank everyone for being here today, and he wants to invite everyone to the fight. He says that December 18th will be a great night and fans will really enjoy this event. So, gracias Yunieski por tu tiempo. Ahora vamos a hablar con Gilberto. So, thank you Yunieski so much for your time. We're going to turn over the call to Gilberto Ramirez, and I'd like to introduce David Shu, his manager, to say a few words. David?
Hey, good morning. I'm here.
Do you
Hey,
want
how are you guys?
do you want to say any words on behalf of Gilberto in this fight?
No, I mean, just on behalf of the team, I just want to thank everybody for being on the call. We really appreciate the opportunity. We appreciate the WBA, Golden Boy, and the zone for allowing us to be in this position to fight Yunieski for the eliminator. Obviously, we agree 100% with what Yunieski said, that we don't look past this fight. Obviously, he's a tough challenger. He's been in there with the best, so we understand what's ahead of the game plan. I think a lot of this stuff about the whole Bivol talk has been a cloud over this fight, but I mean, Zurdo's been training very hard. He's been in the gym 2-3 times a day, and I feel like December 18th is going to be a great night for boxing fans, and hopefully we get the victory to move on to the next step. So first and foremost, I just want to thank everybody for supporting Zurdo on his journey to be the best again.
Thank you, David. Now we'll turn it over to Gilberto. Gilberto, do you want to say any opening comments?
Hola, ¿qué tal? Muchas gracias a todos por estar aquí. Pues estoy muy contento de volver a pelear por segunda vez en este año. Para mí es un sueño hecho realidad el pelear por una eliminatoria de título y pues estoy contento.
Okay, so he says he's very happy to be fighting for the second time this year. It's a dream, and he's very excited and happy to be fighting for the WBA eliminatory title. Thank you so much, Gilberto. Okay, so we'll start off the question and answer portion. Dan, do you want to start off?
Sure. Thank you very much. Hello, Zurdo, David. It's Dan Rayfield here.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
Hey, guys. I'm good. It was good to see you guys in Vegas a week or so ago at the Crawford fight. My question for you, Zurdo, is this. You've been chasing Bivol for a while. You know, I get all your publicist press releases about that. I know you're, trying to chase him down to get this fight, to get the title fight. How much is it at all distracting that that you get that fight if you win, or is it more motivating because you do have a tough guy in Yunieski González standing right in front of you before that can occur?
Well, I think I'm more excited for that fight because I've been working on it. I was really prepared for Dmitry Bivol, but they changed the opponent, and doesn't matter. And the plan changed, and I know that I need to pass in front of these guys first, and then move forward for a title fight. And it's really exciting for me to be back to beat this guy, because I know that he wanna try hard too. He wanna try to take everything
I know his opportunity, but I don't want to take any chance for him. I wanna get this done fast and move on.
Zurdo, what was it about Bivol specifically? Because there's obviously other fighters with titles. There's Beterbiev, there's Joe Smith, and obviously there's Bivol. What was it about him that made you decide to chase him down instead of one of these other guys with belts?
Oh, because he was calling me now. He was telling that he's not afraid to fight me, and he posed something and before my live fight, and that was I was like, okay, this is a challenge for me, and then I want to people know that I'm the best, and I know myself that I'm the best, and I want to prove myself. I want to prove everyone.
And he fights next week. You know, he fights, or you fight on the 18th, but 1 week before you fight, Bivol is fighting in Russia. Are you going to pay attention to that fight?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. I hope that he wins, and I think he's just an easy fight for him. But I hope he wins and we make the fight happen because the people want to see that fight.
All right, very good, Zurdo. Thank you very much, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Next up, let's talk to Rodrigo Jimenez from Fino Boxing. Go ahead, Rodrigo.
¿Qué tal, Zurdo? Buenos días, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú qué tal?
Muy bien, aquí. Gracias por tomar el tiempo esta vez, como siempre. Te quería preguntar, ¿qué es la diferencia de zurdo en 168 libras a zurdo en 175? Tienes 3 peleas, 3 victorias por la vía rápida. ¿Te sientes más fuerte? ¿Crees que puedes dar los mejores frutos en esta división?
Así es, me siento más fuerte, me siento que es mi peso natural. Ya lo vieron en 3 peleas, esta no creo que va a ser la excepción. Estoy muy contento porque pues, sé que González va a ir bien preparado y quiere dar un buen espectáculo, como ya lo dijo, y pues poner un buen show para toda la gente y cerrar el año con broche de oro.
Okay, so hold on, Rodrigo. Let me translate that. So basically, Rodrigo asked, what is the difference between a Zurdo at 168 and Zurdo at 175? And Gilberto responded that he feels stronger, that the 175 feels very a more natural weight to him, that he's fought at this weight, and you guys have seen the results. And he knows that Gonzalez is going to come prepared to this fight, and he is going to be prepared too, and he wants to put on a really good show for everyone on December 18th. Go ahead, Rodrigo, with your follow-up question.
Thank you, Cecilia, for the translation. Zurdo, por fin, sé que quieres buscar esa corona en las 175 libras, convertirte en el tercer mexicano campeón después de Julio González y, claro, Canelo. ¿Por qué tan importante es San Antonio para ti, para Golden Boy, sabiendo que es una ciudad importante para el boxeo, donde la gente sabe del boxeo? ¿Por qué tiene que comprar su boleto y qué tan importante es para ti pelear en San Antonio?
Mira, la tienen que comprar porque va a ser una gran noche, una noche espectacular. Se está terminando el año y qué mejor que ver a Zurdo Ramírez contra González, una pelea de choque, porque González va hacia adelante y también me gusta ir hacia adelante, entonces va a ser una pelea explosiva. Y en San Antonio porque hay mucho mexicano y he peleado varias veces ahí, entonces la gente ya me conoce mejor y saben que siempre doy un buen espectáculo que doy todo, y pues que hay mucho latino también ahí, y pues contento porque pues siempre salgo con mi tejana y hay muchos tejanos ahí en San Antonio, así que va a ser una pelea muy emocionante.
Okay, so the question was, why is San Antonio important for boxing? Why is it important for him? And why do fans have to buy tickets to this fight? And Gilberto's response was, you know, everyone knows this is going to be a good fight, and what's better than to end the year with a big spectacular boxing fight. He knows that Gonzalez is a fighter that comes forward and he also comes forward. So this fight's going to be very exciting from beginning to end. And San Antonio is important because, you know, he's Mexican, and there are a lot of Mexican boxing fans in San Antonio, and he's fought there before. They know who he is, and he knows it's going to be a very spectacular fight. And he knows, you know, he comes out into the ring with his tejana, you know, his hat, and he knows there's a lot of tejanos there, so he's paying homage to that. All right, thank you, Rodrigo, for the questions. Let's move on to Miguel Maravilla from Fight News. Go ahead, Miguel.
Hola, ¿qué tal, Zurdo? ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, ¿y tú qué tal?
Bien, bien. Pues se habla de las posibilidades ante otros campeones. Has buscado la pelea ante Bivol, pero primero que nada, ¿qué representa este reto en Yunieski?
Bueno, es un reto muy importante para mí, ya que es pelea eliminatoria y aparte también es mi récord invicto, así que tengo que voy a poner todo como siempre arriba del ring y voy a salir victorioso.
Okay, so the question was, what does this fight represent with Gonzalez? And Gilberto's response was, you know, it's an important fight for him. It's an eliminatory fight, title fight. So this is a big deal. And, you know, he's putting his undefeated record on the line as well. And so he's going to come with everything on December 18th. Do you have a follow-up question, Miguel?
Yes. La división semicompleta, ¿cómo la ves? ¿Que hay otros retos que te gustan, otras peleas? ¿Y has considerado el peso crucero?
Claro que sí. Pues los retos son tener todos los títulos, obviamente pasar por esta pelea primero con Yunieski González y eventualmente subir de división y conquistar todos los títulos en crucero.
So the question was, what are his aspirations in the light heavyweight division, if there are any other fights he'd like to consider, and if he would consider going up to cruiserweight. And Gilberto's response was, of course, his goal in the light heavyweight division is to have all the belts, but first he has to get through this fight with Gonzalez first, and eventually become unified in light heavyweight, and then moved up to cruiserweight when the time is right. Okay, let's go on to John Whistler from the San Antonio News Express. Go ahead, John.
I have a question. Zurdo, is Canelo on your radar, and how bad would you like to fight him?
Well, I don't think about Canelo right now. I'm just thinking about Yunieski, and I think eventually if he said he will move up and he wants to fight the best, but I think we're path is different right now, and eventually maybe they want to cross, and why not? People want to see that fight, and I want fight with the best, but I know that how to get the belt first and get the unificator fight, and eventually that fight will happen.
Have you fought in Galveston recently? Have you been to San Antonio before, Zurdo?
Yes, I've been there. It's a lovely place, nice people. Yeah, I think I've been fighting. I fought one there too, San Antonio.
Okay. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Again, if you want to ask a question, please raise your hand. Let's move on to Mike Reda from 26 Sports. Go ahead, Mike.
Hola, Zurdo, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Bien, también. Cuando hablé con usted después de tu última pelea con Sullivan Barrera, dijiste pues que tenías el plan de Bivol y todo esto. ¿Cuándo se puso Yunieski como una opción claro para usted? Que podías pelear cuando la pelea de Bivol se quebró por él en la otra dirección.
Pues fue cuando Bivol no quiso firmar el contrato, no lo quiso firmar, tuvo miedo de pelearme, se fue a Rusia a pelear y entonces Yunieski tomó la posición de él y se le respeta porque es un buen peleador, ha peleado con lo mejor del mundo y sabe que es oportunidad. Entonces, yo también sé que es una pelea difícil porque él viene bien preparado y quiere quiere darlo todo arriba del ring y sobre todo pues quiere obtener lo que yo tengo.
Okay, so the question was essentially, when was Yunieski part of the plan for Gilberto to fight? And Gilberto answered was when Bivol didn't want to sign the contract, that he was scared to fight him, and he ended up going to Russia. And Yunieski, stood up. He took the fight, and he respects him for it. He knows that Gonzalez sees this as an opportunity, and he's coming well prepared, and he knows he's coming to give it his all because he wants what Zurdo has right now, but Zurdo's not going to let him take that away from him. Okay, do you have a follow-up question, Mike?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. Y después de un tiempo de inactividad para usted, este es tu segunda pelea este año. Si todo pasa bien en la pelea con González, ¿cuántas veces te gustaría pelear el próximo año?
Todo va a ir bien, primero Dios, y me gustaría pelear 4 veces, 3, 4 al año, el próximo año.
Okay. Muchas gracias, Zurdo, y buena suerte.
Gracias.
The question was that basically this is his second fight this year. How many fights does he want to do next year? And Gilberto's response was he would like to fight 3 or 4 times next year. All right. Well, if we have no more questions, I want to thank Gilberto for joining us today. Gilberto, is there anything you want to say to everyone here?
Thank you, everyone, for your support. And don't miss the fight, San Antonio, Texas. I'll see you soon, December 18. Muchas gracias a todos. Nos vemos pronto en San Antonio. Y voy a ganar.
Thank you so much, Gilberto. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us today. And remember, the fight will be streaming live exclusively on DAZN worldwide, and tickets are still available. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you guys all soon. I'll be sending out a recording of this session as well. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.